There's a growing body of research around psychedelics, especially their potential not just for mental health and trauma healing, but also physical healing.
Yeah.
Things like concussions, metabolic health, and even early stage Alzheimer's. So as MAHA and other movements push for broader legalization for therapeutic use, I'm curious, what's your take where this fits into the future of health and healing, especially in a world desperate for new and effective solutions?
Yeah, so let me address more, I guess, psilocybin and cannabis, maybe two of the more popular. So here's my opinion on this. Both of those have medicinal properties. However, their medicinal properties are much stronger and more impactful to the your brain and nervous system than others. So I really think in most cases they should be done under the care of a doctor. I mean, turmeric doesn't need to be under the care of a doctor. Ginger, ashwagandha, vitamins, minerals. And here's the thing. So cannabis, for instance, I've seen a lot of people fall into this where I like it as a painkiller, especially if you have the right sort of, and I would say not that high, a lower dose of THC, or for sleep, let's say maybe 1 to 2.5, sort of the number there, and then CBD a little bit higher. But it does drain the body if it's done long term. I mean, this has been known in Chinese medicine for years. We know today. This is why if somebody smokes marijuana, a lot of them, they'll become very unmotivated over time because it starts to actually pull their testosterone for men especially, and the women, it'll do a very similar thing in affecting their body. It'll kind of start putting out, we'd call it their fire. So again, I think if somebody is in major chronic pain, it could be it's better than opioids. I think there's less side effects than like an oxycodone and a lot of these drugs today that are so addictive and harmful to the liver. So I'd like it better than that with psilocybin. I think, again, I just think it's such a case-by-case basis. It's, I think for addictive personalities, you got to be careful. But listen, the studies you're referencing, especially on PTSD, they're good. They're good studies, and I think doing it under the counsel of a psychiatrist or psychologist or MD, somebody who really has been trained in it, but with the goal to get off of it. I have a family I know, and they lost a 2-year-old child, and you can imagine how devastating that was. And they really struggled for years, and they actually used some of these and they felt like it was very healing for them. So I just think you just want to use it with so much caution because they do have side effects. Because they're really strong.
But do I hear you saying you believe that the psychedelics can have a therapeutic, we're talking like deep trauma is what I've been reading about.
Deep trauma.
It takes
and ayahuasca in a similar manner, even though that's even much stronger. But again, if we're talking more about psilocybin, I think that I think they can be very healing for trauma. The number of people today that are suffering still today physically due to emotional trauma as children is incredibly high. In fact, I think it's probably the single most overlooked reason why people have physical health issues today.
This is an ad for BetterHelp. In a world full of noise, personal and professional growth start with clarity. But with distractions pulling us in every direction, it's hard to think clearly, let alone be our best. That is why therapy is a great tool, not just for healing, but for self-improvement. BetterHelp is 100% online, so you can invest in yourself on your schedule. And with over 30,000 licensed therapists, they'll match you with someone who helps you become the best version of you. Visit BetterHelp.com/Ken for 10% off your first month. You said something about testosterone, which is also a big issue with guys.
Huge,
so there's an onslaught of popularity of like a THC or a CBD seltzer, if you will. I don't know if you know this.
For testosterone?
No, just a beverage. I'm saying like...
Oh yeah, that's not going to help their testosterone.
That's what I'm getting at. You said it will suck away their testosterone.
Here's the thing. If you use it once or twice, or it's on occasion, it's not going to. But
I'm saying if you're drinking one of these seltzers on a regular basis, it's going to have a negative effect on your testosterone.
Really the THC more than the CBD. But yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's and I mean, we've got testosterone levels in men today have dropped 33% in the last 50 years. And I mean, if you think about it like this, like men that during World War II, versus 20-year-olds today, men in their like 60s or 70s had the same level of testosterone than 20-year-olds do today, 20-year-old men.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's why I was diving in there, because there's a lot of people, I mean, I'm not judging, but like marijuana is becoming more and more legal in states and it's recreation use. So my point is there a medical, or is there something you do to offset that? Or is it just...
I think it's kind of like...
And I'm not saying it to like help people go, hey, keep doing the marijuana, but...
Let me give you an example of like what this is akin to. It's like, I'm going to drink a 6-pack of alcohol and I'm going to take some B vitamins. And maybe drink some electrolytes. Okay, it's going to reduce the hangover. It's definitely better because that definitely dehydrates you and it's causing some issues. It's not a total fix. It's helpful. Maybe let's say it offsets it by 30%, but it's not a full-on.
Still a net negative.
It's still a net negative, yeah. I mean, for testosterone, what men need to do, the sleep and stress thing is huge.
Yeah.
Lift weights.
Yeah.
And eat a diet that's really high in meat, organic grass-fed meat, like everything from beef to bison to elk, and eat clean. I mean, that's really, if they do that, their testosterone will tend to be. There's a study on where they compared chopping wood to soccer and basketball and other sports, and they wanted to see, okay, which boosted testosterone the most. It was actually chopping wood.
Yeah.
And one of the things I remember, and I think one of the reasons, part of it is psychological. Like I know when my dad taught me to chop wood, it was probably, I felt like the biggest the most manliest thing I've ever done.
Right.
So
and the brain sends a message to the body.
Yeah, and
release.
And there are studies on like men spending quality time with other masculine men doing men things, whatever that might, chopping wood or going to a football game or whatever that is.